everyone. Let's begin with our first chapter finally, which is business activity and classification. Again, in my previous video, like I told you, right now I'm starting only with Pearson Edexcel IGCSE. So this is only for Pearson Edexcel IGCSE students. If you are appearing for Cambridge A levels or O levels or Edexcel A levels, then this is not for you. Okay, this is solely for Pearson Edexcel IGCSE students. Now, our first chapter, if you open your book, it's going to be business activity and business classification will be chapter 7. But I have combined both the chapters. If you look into my previous video, you will know why. You will know why I combine chapters and what are the contents and sequences that I follow. So according to me, business activity and classification is chapter 1, which according to your book is chapter 7 is business classification and chapter 1 is business activity. Anyways, let's begin and let's make it as simple as possible. So today we're talking about business activity first, okay? Business activity. Now, a quick question that I want you to ponder over is how many of you got Starbucks this morning? Okay, keep that in mind. We will come back to that. Or any coffee, any cold coffee, any hot coffee. Starbucks is just an example. Okay, keep that in mind. My question was how many of you got Starbucks this morning, or how many of you got a coffee this morning? Okay. So, what is business activity theoretically? First, I'm telling you, according to what you have to write in your exam, business activity is the process. Okay. It's the process. Process of what? Process of combining resources. Why? Why do we combine resources as business? To produce goods and services. For whom? For whom? For people, of course, that satisfies people's needs and wants. Sorry for my writing. I am going to be really quick with my writing, but you don't have to worry about it because everything is written in notes as it is, okay? So business activity, this is what you write in your exam. This is what the examiner wants to see. This definition, there is no chance you are scoring less than full marks, okay? So it's the process. Remember, it's the process of combining resources. What are resources? What are resources? Resources are factors of production. Okay? Factors of production are resources required to carry out business activities. Factors of production. These are resources required to carry out business activities. And what are resources? Resources are factors of production. That means resources are land, labor, capital, enterprise. All of these comes under resources. Okay. So what happens is that whenever an entrepreneur or an individual like you and me, we combine these resources, land, labor, capital, enterprise, and we produce a good or service out of this, which satisfy people's needs and wants. That is what a business activity is. You don't need to memorize this definition. If you understand, it's going to make sense. It's a process of combining all the resources to produce goods and services that are going to satisfy people's needs and wants. Okay? And resources are the 4 factors of production. And what are factors of production? Resources required to carry out business activity, that is land, labor, capital, enterprise. Let's look at them one by one. What is land? Land includes all the natural resources. Whenever I use the word land, I don't mean floor by it, okay? Because this is a misconception. Land, okay, that means the area where we are building our business. No. Land includes all the natural resources, coffee beans for Starbucks, oil for gas stations. That is included in land. What is labor? Now, whenever I say this, people say human effort. Wrong. Labor is any kind of mental and physical human effort. Remember, whenever you are explaining factors of production and you explore labor, you have to mention that it's any kind of mental and physical human effort. Okay? For example, the barista making the coffee for you at Starbucks. Remember, I talked about Starbucks in the starting, right? That is the barista who's making the coffee for you is the labor. Okay? Any kind of mental or physical effort is labor. Then comes capital. Capital is man-made resource. Any kind of man-made resource is capital. Whenever capital comes into mind, people say finance. Now, here we're talking about man-made resources. We're talking about machinery as an example. Okay, the coffee machine is a capital for your business. Delivery truck is a capital for your business. And what is enterprise? Very easy. Enterprise is taken from the word entrepreneur, which is an individual who risks and organizes all the above factors of production. All the factors of production to come up with an innovative idea, right? Enterprise is the risk-taking ability of an entrepreneur or of an individual who gathers all the other three factors of production, land, labor, capital, and comes up with a product or comes up with a service that solves the problem, that comes up with a solution, right? So I hope it's clear. What is business activity? What are factors of production? What is land, labor, capital, enterprise? Okay. Till here, if anything comes in your exam, you should be confident enough to write. Okay. But this is not enough. Let's move forward. Now we're going to talk about the distinction. Distinction? I mean, not the distinction, the grade distinction. Okay. I'm talking about the difference. So the difference between goods and services. That is very simple. By now, I hope you're not skipping my video because I'm teaching simple things for now. Because of course, it's a formality, it's a part of your syllabus. Okay, what are goods? How will you define goods? So people are like, goods, services? We know what that is. Why is Miss Ewan teaching this? Because when you see in your exam, define services, you don't have words to define it. Define goods. You don't have words to define. How will you define good? Tell me. Oh, it's a thing. What? Wrong. Zero. Goods is any kind of physical, or you can use the word tangible, physical products that you can touch. That you can touch. Okay, this is how you define a good. And if you give an example, that's even better. Okay, for example, your shoes or your iPhone or burger. Okay, and service is obviously going to be the vice versa. Service are the actions done for you. But this is not what you write in exams. Okay, services are intangible products that you, I would not say that you should use the word products. Intangible actions that you can't touch. That is what the service is. Okay, actions done for you. Or intangible products, intangible actions that you can't touch. Don't write products because product, we say it's another word for good. Okay. So now I would ask you that is Spotify a good or a service? Ponder over it. Think about it. What do you think? Is Spotify a product or a service? Correct. It's a service. Why? Because you don't own the music when you purchase Spotify. You're purchasing access to listen to the music. So Spotify is giving you a platform and they're doing action for you. They are making songs available for you. You are not owning something that you can touch. Of course, it's a service, right? It's just giving you an access. It's an action that's done for you. So this is how you differentiate goods and service. I know you know what's a good. I know you know what's a service, but you wanted right words to define it, and I gave you that. Okay? So make sure you're using these terms in your exams. Moving forward. Now, a very small part is what is the differentiation between needs and wants. This is also something which is very, very simple. Okay. Here's where, economics comes in a bit of it. So what is a need? Need is something, things you must have to survive. Okay. Need is anything that you must have to survive. No, your relationship is not your need. Your girlfriend, boyfriend is not your need. Trust me. Okay. So things you must have to survive. That is food. That is water. That is shelter, something that you cannot breathe without. You can breathe without your partner. You can breathe without your iPhone. Okay, so food, water, shelter, something you cannot survive without, that is a need. And be practical. Want is like a desire, is everything else you desire, but it's not essential for survival. It's not essential for survival. Okay. For example, the new iPhone 17 Pro Max, new iPhone 17 Pro Max, designer clothes, concert tickets, all of this. This is all a need. Okay. A want. Concert tickets is not a need. It's a want. Okay. You can survive without it, no matter how much you say, oh, I want to listen to the concert of Travis Scott or whatever. Okay, this does not work like that. Okay, it's a want. So I hope that you understood the difference between need and a want, and we are good to go and move forward. Okay. Now, there is a problem. What is the problem? The problem is that human wants are unlimited. Human keeps on wanting things. It's unlimited. But resources in our economy, in the world, are limited. Okay, human wants are unlimited, but resources are limited. Unlimited, limited. Remember, your examiner might use alternate words. Human wants are infinite, but resources in the economy are finite. Okay? You don't have infinite money to fulfill all your desires. That's what I mean. Your wants are unlimited, but you have a limited amount to spend every month, right? So remember this, that human wants are unlimited, but resources are limited. And if you cannot imagine this, then think about your money, right? That you don't have infinite money to satisfy your infinite wants, okay? Because of this, basic economic problem exists. What's a basic economic problem? Basic economic problem in the society is a problem of scarcity, guys. Problem of scarcity. What does scarcity means? Scarcity means not enough. Okay? I'm telling you the general meaning of the word scarce. Scarce means not enough. Scarcity means not enough resources to satisfy all wants. And that is what the economic problem is that exists in the society. So what is the basic economic problem, guys? Basic economic problems is infinite wants. You should say with me, infinite wants and finite resources. This is the basic economic problem in the economy. And what is the basic economic problem? The problem of scarcity. What is the problem of scarcity? This equation. Okay, very confusing. Let me break it down for you. I'm going to make your life easy. Okay, so guys, again, what is the basic economic problem, guys? What is the basic economic problem? Basic economic problem is problem of scarcity. What do you mean, problem of scarcity? Can you elaborate on this? Of course I can. I studied from Corpex. Okay, so it's infinite wants and finite resources. This is the problem of scarcity. And this is the basic economic problem. Because of this, you have to make choices. You have to make choices because you cannot get everything you want. So that is the reason opportunity cost exists. And what is this new term that is added in the arrow and why is this not ending? Opportunity cost means next best alternate foregone. This is the only definition that I want to see in all of your exams if you're watching my video. Opportunity cost means next best alternate foregone, right? So that is what opportunity cost is. And why do you need to forego anything? Because you have infinite wants and finite resources. So for example, if I have two choices. Either I can build a school or I can build a library. I have $1 million of funds. Okay, listen to me carefully. In $1 million, I can either build a school or a library. And if I choose building a library, then whatever I am foregoing, look at the screen, whatever I am foregoing is my opportunity cost. I hope it's simple. Opportunity cost is the next best alternate foregone. Okay, so whatever I'm foregoing, it's also the best option for me, but I have to forego because of limited resources. Correct? So this is what our business activity chapter is about. So far, it's not finished. We still do have more of it, but this is just a small chunk of it. If you have any questions, feel free to WhatsApp me or just drop your comments below and I will be reaching out to you. Okay? Let's move forward. Now, next part is types of business. Three types of businesses that we have in our chapter. Three types of businesses. Okay? The types of businesses based on their purpose. Okay? Every business has a different purpose. You have to see which type of enterprise or which type of business you're doing. Whether you're doing a private business or in a private sector or private enterprise. Is your purpose falling under public enterprise? These are the three types of business. Or is it social enterprise? Which type of business are you doing? Private enterprise, public enterprise, or social enterprise? Let's see one by one. What do I mean by this? First of all, private enterprise. To understand the concept and to memorize the concept and definition, I'm going to give you the easiest way. Just ask yourself two questions. Who owns it? What's the aim? These are the two questions that you should ask yourself. Who owns it? What's the aim? Okay? When you answer this, your definition is completed of private, of public, and you are going to score full marks. Who owns private enterprise? Of course, it's owned by private individuals like you and me. I'm a private individual because I'm not associated with government. You are a private individual because you're not associated with government. If I open a shop today or you open a business today, that is what private enterprise is because we are private individuals. And what's the aim? Come on, tell me. Why would you do a business? Or why would I do a business? Of course, I would do it to make profit. Of course, I would want profit maximization. So profit, making a profit or profit maximization is the primary aim. Primary means the first aim, okay, of private enterprises. So what is a private enterprise? Or you could say, what is a private enterprise? Businesses owned by private individuals with the primary aim of making profit. Do you see how I have kept it in words? What is a private enterprise? These are businesses owned by private individuals, just like you and me. If I open a business, you open a business, we are working in private enterprise with the primary aim or primary goal, whatever you want to use, of making a profit. So do you see now? Only two questions help me build my definition. I just have to ask myself, who owns it? Who owns it? And I have to ask myself, what's the aim? What's the aim? Correct? And I will be able to come up with my definition. Easy, right? Examples, miss. What are the examples? Starbucks, Tesla, your local pizza shop, Apple. All of these are private enterprises. They are owned by private individuals because Mark Zuckerberg is not associated with government. Howard Schultz is not associated with government, the owner of Starbucks. Elon Musk is not associated with government, Tesla's owner, right? So these are private individuals and they are doing businesses just to be rich. They are doing businesses just to make profit. They fall under this category. They are in private enterprise. Okay. I hope it's clear. For public enterprise, I am not going to shout that much and I am not going to be hyper. Very calmly, I'm going to tell you that in public enterprise, who owns it? It's owned by public individuals. It's better to use the word government. It's owned by government. It's state owned. Okay, that means it's owned by government. Okay, so private enterprises are owned by public individuals or government or state owned. These words are more recommended to be written down. Okay. And what's the aim? Do they want to make profit? No. So what's the aim? To provide essential services to public. Social welfare, right? They want to provide necessary services to public. For example, your country's water authority. If I talk about Dubai, they have DEWA, which stands for Dubai Electric and Water Authority. And I cannot own DEWA. My friend cannot own DEWA. Any rich person cannot own DEWA until they are associated with government. And do you think that they're providing this electricity and water to make profit for themselves? Of course not. They are providing electricity and water to Dubai just so their citizens can have essential services like water, like electricity, right? So again, just on the basis of two questions, I was able to build my definition. Who owns it and what's the aim, right? Public hospitals, postal services, public transportation, all of this is owned by public enterprise and their primary aim is not profit. However, it's to provide essential services to citizens. You can use the word citizens instead of public here. That is more recommended, right? So the goal is not to make money, it's to serve the public. That's why they're called public enterprises. Now we have social enterprise. The next that we have is social enterprise. Okay, this is the third one. Social enterprise are, I'm not going to use who owns it and what's the aim here. Social enterprise are businesses that exist to make profit. You actually make profit, but remember, but also help society, right? So their main goal is profit plus social welfare both. Private's main aim is profit, public's main aim is social welfare or providing services to the public. Here, profit plus social welfare goal. Okay. These are basically charitable organizations. You might have heard about charities or donation centers helping poor out, helping needy out, helping autistic people out. All of these are social enterprises. Okay. They want to make profit and they also want to do good to people. There are a lot of businesses who are doing good for the environment. Why is that so? Are not making profit? They still need to make money. Why? They gotta pay their employees. They need to make money. They need to make some profit. Else they will have to be closed down. They will have to make profit to keep their business running and also do good to people, just like charitable organizations, donation centers, or organizations for the environment, planting trees, etc. But they're still going to charge you something because they want to keep their business running. They cannot go in loss. Okay. So remember, three types of businesses that I've told you so far is private, public, social enterprise. How to memorize private and public? Who owns it? What's the aim? Remember these two key questions in your mind. So far, you should be confident with what we have studied. Okay. Next stuff that we have is business stakeholders, which I am going to continue in the next video. And if you have any questions still here, let me know. But in the next video, you're gonna see business stakeholders and the continuation of this chapter. Okay? If you have any questions regarding what we have done so far, feel free to text me on WhatsApp. I will be dropping my number in the description. Instagram me, whatever is the easier means for you, okay? Or just drop down the comment in the comment section below. And if you want to, guys, I know this is like, I mean, I'm not promoting anything, but if you want to keep watching my videos, if you want to keep preparing with me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's make Corpex a community of students acing their exams. Okay, see you soon. Connect to you soon. Have a great day. Thank you. Mm.